All right, let's jump in. We are covering today just some BoomTown basics. So in case you missed the announcement, if you're not on the Zillow team, all of the agents in our office have access to BoomTown, which is fabulous. So BoomTown is going to be a CRM, or a contact relationship manager. It's basically your database. That's where you're going to put all of your contacts and keep track of them. Today is BoomTown 1.0. So we're just doing like a basics, get acquainted with BoomTown. I'll show you how to put people in there. I'll show you how to set it up, show you some little features and things that you have available to you. So that's kind of our plan today as we move along. As always, if you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, interrupt me, throw it in the chat box. I'm trying to keep track of everything. So feel free to look at any of those ways to make me stop speaking so that you can ask your question. I won't count it as rude. Before we jump in, does anybody have any questions? All righty, hopping in. So BoomTown, this link is not in our one login. I just double checked to see if it was available in our one login. You will not find BoomTown in here. Not a big deal. The way you get to BoomTown is it's leads.boomtownroi.com, and you should have gotten an email from BoomTown. So if you go to your email, if you've never logged into it, if you go to your email and search BoomTown, usually one word, no space, it should come up with your username and your password. If you don't have it, your username is your email that Realty One Group uses. So you can do that and hit forgot password, and it should help you to reset it. So that's how you would get in there, but it's leads.boomtownroi.com is how you would get into that BoomTown experience. So the first thing that you want to do when you log into BoomTown is you want to set up your account. So to do that, you're going to go on over to the right-hand side of your screen at the top. You're going to click on it, and you're going to go to My Profile. Told you it's BoomTown 1.0. It's just the basics. And don't be afraid to like mess with stuff on here and try it and just play around with it, because I think you'll find that it's fairly user friendly. Inside our one login, we have access to the One Suite, which is the other CRM that you can utilize that's free. So both BoomTown and One Suite you get for free. I think BoomTown is a little more user-friendly and a little bit more intuitive. So I would highly recommend looking at BoomTown if you're currently using One Suite and playing around with it and deciding if that's where you want to move all your people. If it is, you can export your people out of One Suite to import them into BoomTown. If you're not using anything yet, I highly recommend just start out with BoomTown. It's a little bit more user-friendly. It flows a little bit better. But here is your information. This is where you find your login information. Here's where you set up your agent website. So they give you an agent website, and you can change the little address for it, right? So it might be like Vacaville Realtor, or maybe your name, or whatever that might be. You put it in there, hit update website address, and then you can hit view. And that'll take you to your website, and you can share this website with anybody in your database. A great idea here is you could be like, hey, check out my new website. Let me know what you think. How easy is it to navigate? The other thing that you'll want to do with this website is this is where you can go find listings. So like if we go to Vacaville, we're going to hit find your home, and we're going to go into sort. I can filter these. Let's go price, just working to pull up a listing here to 520. See, I was able to sort them quite easily there. It does not show I don't know if you've noticed, but it doesn't show the addresses on here, because the goal is that you get people on here and they're going to register. So in order to see that. So see if I click on this property here, it'll let me like scroll and look at it. This will come into play here in a little bit. Interior features, exterior features. But this is where you want to go if you want to share the listing. Like if you're going to take and share a link to your listing, please don't share the Zillow link. You could share the Real Scout link, or if you have another one, if you go to greathomes.org, that's like the public side of the berries. web search where clients can search. I still don't even recommend doing that. But from here, look, we can hit share, email this listing, share on Pinterest, Facebook, print this listing, share, right? So there's lots of different ways to get it. You could also just come up here and hit like copy as well. But if we hit share, from here, we can share directly to Facebook. And then it's taken to our website instead of taken to somebody else's website. So that's the benefit of sharing it directly from your website. So just a little side mention there. So go back to that agent profile. That's your address. So that's what you would give somebody to look you up on your website or to go search properties on your website. Okay. Any questions about setting up your website address?
Yeah, I had the website through Box Group, so and that would that easily transfer? I mean, I guess how would you do that? Really, is the question. So,
Yeah.
because I haven't looked at.
So if you currently have a website set up, unless you own your domain, you're not going to be able to like translate that website into this website where people could look up that URL and go into this. If you own the domain, like if you bought the domain and I go to tracymitchell.com or tracymitchellsellshomes.com is my website, I can go on to whoever's hosting that, whoever hosts that domain, which is usually like GoDaddy or something like that. And you can actually set it to forward. So when somebody types in tracymitchellsellshomes.com, it'll forward it to this address. So you can set it up that way if you own your own domain, if you wanted to use this one versus the one that you're using now. I'm not saying that you should use this one over one that you're using now. You may want to just check it out and try it, but you definitely should set it up because this one's set up for free and this one's going to integrate into the BoomTown CRM manager. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the key is really to have your own domain, really.
The key is really to have your own domain if you want to be in charge of where people are going. Absolutely. Because like with this one, my domain is going to be amyp.rogfox.com. And if I wanted it to be my own domain, like if I wanted to put Vacaville area homefinder.com, I could go in now to my domain and I could forward it to this email or to this domain so that people could type in Vacaville area homefinder and it would pull them into this website so that I can direct them anywhere I want or build my own website. So yes, the key is, and domains aren't super expensive. They're like, I don't know, maybe $100 for 3 years. So it's not a super expensive thing. And then that keeps you in charge of it.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Say that again?
They're cheap. Yep.
They're cheap. They're cheap. They're cheap. Same thing, like, use your own email address, right? And, if you have your own domain, then oftentimes you can turn that into an email address as well. So if you have like, tracysellshomes.com, then your email address could be tracy@tracysellshomes.com. So it all corresponds. And then you get to keep that email address too, no matter where you're at or what you're doing, or if you move or do anything. So I don't know, it's kind of cool there. So anyways, update your agent web address, even if you don't think you're going to use it, because it's there and it's in existence. And so that way it makes it easy to find. If it's in use and you hit update website address, when you plug in something different here, it will tell you that one's already in use, select a different one. So it will tell you that information. The next thing you want to do is make sure you upload your photo, your headshot in the next section. You just hit change this photo, or if you don't have one there, it may say upload a photo. And here you can go in here and you can hit upload. You can choose a file. It allows you to select it from your computer by hitting choose file. You'll find it, select it, and then you're going to hit upload. Okay, super simple to put your photo in there. The next section is your personal information. You want to make sure you plug in your MLS information here. If you have a separate login to MetroList, most people do not, but if you have a separate login, it's a separate agent ID for MetroList, you would plug that in there. Like my MetroList ID, my berries is like C332896. MetroList is usually all letters, like it was Y Amy Pitt or something like that. And then you'll need the office MLS ID. I don't have the MetroList one if you're setting up a MetroList, but if you have berries, you plug in your berries ID there. And then our office MLS ID for berries is 7C824. So 7C824 is our berries MLS ID. Okay. Make sure you've got your DRE number in there. Make sure you have your name, first name, last name, and then you can add any additional emails that you want to include here. Keep in mind, it's got a little note over here that said lead notifications will also be sent to these emails. So you only want to include ones where you actually want things sent to. But this could be like if you had an admin or something, you may want to plug in your admin's email there so that when you get notified that a new lead's been added to your database, so that your admin is also notified. Okay. You can have daily insights emailed to you. If you leave this box unchecked, it will send you daily insight emails. I don't need more emails, so I check the box to not send them to me. I'm sure it tells you who's been searching for properties and what activity's been done inside your CRM. Next, you want to select which office you are attached to, whether it's the Solano County location, Sonoma County location. Keep in mind too that if you are one of the Zillow team members, you have way more functionality in here than an average agent does. Okay, so the average agent has what I have, and you guys will have more access. You want to make sure that you can plug in your office phone, home phone, mobile phone, direct phone, whatever you feel comfortable doing. We'll talk about this BoomTown number here in a moment. Yours will be blank. And then this is where the calls get routed to. You can select if somebody were to call a number associated with your BoomTown, which again, we'll talk about here in a minute. Where do you want those phone calls to go? If you had a toll-free number, a fax number, another personal website, you can put that all in here. You can also then select your professional title. Maybe you want to be like chaos coordinator. Any awards or designations that you have can go in that next box. And if you have a tagline, it would go here in the your tagline box. Right? So tagline, slogan, same thing. Here's where you want to put in your professional bio, your biography. You can put that in there. And again, you want these things to be the same. So whatever you're using as your bio here, you really want to be your bio on realtor.com, your bio on Zillow.com, your bio on Berries, your bio on, I don't even know where else your bio would be. Your Facebook page, if you have a business page in there, Instagram, if you have a business page, it would go there. So you want them all to be the same. You want it to flow and everything to be consistent. Here's where it's going to the next box. Does anybody have any questions so far on that section? All right. The next section is your email signature box. Here, it will automatically add your signature to all email messages if you check this box. If you don't check this box, it won't automatically add an email signature. Here's where you can put in that, and there's some functionality here, right? So I could come in here and go bold. You can choose your font family. There's some options there. You can choose the font size. You can make it italicized, underline. You can change the font color. You can change how it sits. Maybe you want it in the middle of the page instead of the side of the page. Bullets, numbers, undo, redo. Here's where if you wanted to do a link, so like right here, I included this information for my other business where it says click here to learn more about the top 20 tasks a virtual assistant can do for you to free up your time. And then I made that a hyperlink. So the way to do that, right, is you could go make a link. There we go. We just highlight that. Here we come up to the little link button. This is where you would put in the URL that you want it to go to. And then open link in same window or in a new window. Which do you want it to do? And then you could title it here, like email signatures, right? Whatever. And then you hit insert. Once you do that, it will make this text here a hyperlink to wherever you want to send it to. So if you had another website or you wanted to put like click here to search properties, and then you could link it back to your website that was up here at the top, be super easy to do that. We just go click. Hold on. Click here to view properties. Oops, for sale. And then you highlight that. We hit insert link. we come up here to our URL so that I can see it. And it's going to be http://amyp.robfox.com. The target, I want to open it in a new window, and title is going to be house search. And then we hit insert. Now, if we come down here, now see it's got that hyperlink in here. And if we were to click on this hyperlink, if I send out an email, it would take them to my website. Did everybody see how to do that?
Yes.
Okay, if you wanted to change it, we can just highlight it again and we hit the unlink button, and now that takes away that link. So there's the link button, and then there's the one that looks like it's being pulled apart. That would be the unlink. Or if you needed to change it, here we could come in here and we could edit this link. Okay. Okay, so that's your email signature. Any questions about your email signature? There, if you click on the little picture, it puts your headshot in there. Just repeat it. Oops. There we go. Okay. Okay. Once you're done there, you're going to hit update info. And then that's going to make sure it saves all of those updates that you just did. Okay, so that is your profile. In addition to your profile, if you come back over here to your name, you can go to integrations. Here is where you can set up your BoomTown phone number. So we just go in here and hit set up. It will prompt you, if you don't have one, to select a phone number. I don't think there was any cost to it. The benefit of a phone number through BoomTown is this is going to allow you to send out text messages and automated text messages through your BoomTown CRM. So if you've got on your business plan where you are going to contact your database once a quarter via text message, you can set it up so it automatically sends out those text messages through BoomTown. You don't even have to do anything, and you'll get a response if they respond to you. Super cool. Now you've just eliminated 90% of your work for one quarter. Okay, so that's how you would set up your phone number inside of integrations. Here's how you want to receive text messages to your phone every time a new lead registers. So, originally we set up in our profile the email address, but if we wanted it to send us text messages, because we're probably paying closer attention to our text messages than we are our email addresses, here is where you can set up those text message notifications. And you're just going to hit, yes, send me a text when the lead registers. Yes, send me a text when new notes are created for one of my leads, right? So you decide what and when you want text messages. Make sure your phone number's in there, and then you're going to hit send verification code. Once you hit send verification code, you are going to get a text message with a code, and then you're going to plug this code in here. I already did this once, but we're going to do it again. That's not a 6, C7. And then you hit finish setup. And then once it's verified, now if any new leads register, you will get, here, new texts are sent. We probably want to save that one too. You'll get notified for any of these actions that happen inside of your CRM. Any questions about text message notifications? All right, we're going to head back over to integrations and see what else is there that we may want to mess with today. Brokerment, no. Oh, you probably want to sync your calendar. It's probably a good idea to sync your calendar. So you can come over here and hit connect. And you would want to, it'll ask you to sync your calendar. You're going to select what kind of calendar, your Google, and then plug in your username and password for your Google Calendar. And then it'll be set up to sync to your CRM. That's probably a good one that you want to have done. Okay. If you have things like a Mojo dialer, those are all things you pay for. That's like an auto dialer type system. So you say, hey, I want to call these 100 people today, and it just rolls through them until somebody answers. BoomTown, right, is like videos that you can send off to your CRM. You got Dotloop, which we don't use, so you don't want to use that one. And then your RPR is your Realtor's Property Resource. I think that we all have access to that. So it says view, it doesn't say connect. That's through the National Association of Realtors. And you should already have access to that system and platform. If you haven't signed in for this or signed up for it, you should do so. I need to update my information because it's still got old information in there, but that's the RPR access. So you can, that's probably a good one. And again, it's free. So I like free. I'm a fan of free. Oh, these are the ones that you can make some really cool reports in here if you needed a quick and dirty like CRM for somebody. Okay. Any questions so far about the integrations portion of BoomTown? All right, we're going to move right along. So I'm going to go click on my little picture over there in the upper right-hand corner again and go lead email settings. We're going to click on that one next. We're just working our way down the list. Here is Boom lead, enable automated e-alerts for new buyer leads, allow automated e-alerts for new seller leads. Yes and yes. Automated alerts. Here's where you can send out like a buyer lead welcome email header, right? So this would go out to your new buyer leads. And then if you had BoomTown, you'd put it in there where you could send them out like a video right away. Okay. Not super exciting there, but you may want it on there. If you're like, oh, I'm not sure I want e-alerts, you can just be like, no, I don't want those. And then we could be like, save. Okay, sometimes if you don't know what something is, it's better to just like turn it off temporarily until you have time to learn what it is. And up here, there's you can go to find help and get support over here in the tools on the far left-hand side towards the bottom. And you can go to the help portal, you can contact us or log into trainings. So in case you want to learn more about a certain feature, it's there. All right, next we're going to go down to the social media settings. Here's where you can put in all of your social media accounts. So here's where you can link all those accounts. You want to put the full address in there, not just like the user name. So you want to put it in there. Once you're done, you're going to hit update. And then it will update those accounts so that those links are all in there. And they have just about everything that you can imagine. There is no Snapchat or TikTok, however, though. And then there's this Active Rain, which I don't even know if anybody has a membership to that. If you do, I would love to know what it is. Anybody? All right. So there you go. So make sure you take some time to put in your social media accounts there, at least the ones that you potentially want to share with clients. The last one is just open my website. That's just going to take you to your website. See, it's amyp.rogfox.com. Ta-da! Okay. So that's all the options there under your profile. Does anybody have any questions about those items?
Nope.
No. All right. Fabulous. I'm just double checking to make sure that I didn't have any other notes that I wanted to make sure to share with you. No. All right. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to Lead Central, which is on the toolbar on the left-hand side of the page at the top. If your toolbar, this toggles it, so the 3 lines at the top will open it so you can see what the little icons stand for, or you can close it down and you just get little icons. So just know that that's there. Here's Lead Central. We're going to click on that and head on over there. This is where we're going to put in all of our contacts. Lead Central. Okay. I highly recommend, as always, that you put in your information first and that you play around with your information. Okay. So to put somebody new in, we just come up here. You can hit the little person with the plus next to the search bar. So if we were searching by somebody, you can do it there. You can search by name, email, or phone number. And then if we want to add somebody, we just hit the little person with the plus, which is going to open up a window for us to add a contact. If you want to upload your whole database out of another CRM or a spreadsheet into BoomTown, you are going to contact them directly under that help and then contact us. And then you should be able to email them a copy of that and they will actually upload it for you, is my understanding. But here is where you could put in the information. We're going to go so we don't get flagged. Test human at test.com. So you plug in, right? First name, last name, email address. Here's that welcome email. If you want it to automatically send a welcome email to them, you're going to leave that box checked. Here's where you can plug in their phone number. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to get there. And then this is going to be their phone description if you want it to be visible to the prospect. I like how it tells you that. So you're not going to be like dumb cell phone or who has a landline, right? Like this is, they're going to see. But, and then phone type here, you can choose mobile, right? If you want to be able to text that number and it is a mobile number, you definitely want to select mobile versus like landline or home. And you can add multiple phone numbers. So instead of just one, you could go add new phone number. And then up here, we would just plug it in again. And then you could choose, this is a landline. And then you've got that there. Here you can put in your lead description. This is just a test lead. But this might be like, got it from open house on X date and, here's what they were looking for. So you can put in a description there of the lead. Here's where you're going to put in their address. If you've got it, it's always good to get their addresses. And then where did this lead come from? There's like 150 different places where it might come from. It might be an open house, which there's our alphabetical. So here we've got open house. Here's an orphan client. Does anybody know what an orphan client is? All right, so an orphan client is when you have a listing or a transaction, usually happens with a listing, and you sell that listing to a buyer. You've got the seller, somebody else has the buyer. And then a couple weeks after close, you go knock on their door and you're like, knock, knock. Hey, how's everything going? I would love to get your contact information. That way if the sellers think of anything that they didn't share with you, or in case you have any questions about the house, you can reach out to me directly. And be like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Also, did your agent give you a copy of your home warranty? Here you go, right? So you can go visit that client. There's no agent fiduciary responsibility anymore, no agency, because the transaction's over. You can go introduce yourself to that client, get their contact information, and then we add them in as an orphaned client, because we're going to assume, based on the National Association of Realtors statistics that say that only like 75% or it's like 90 some odd percent of people don't use the same agent again. They get orphaned. The agent never contacts them again. They sell a house. They never hear from them again. We want to add them to our database so that we can sprinkle on them with little tips and tricks and, vendor lists and things that they should be doing to maintain their house. We're going to adopt them as an orphan client into our own. So that's an orphan client. Past client. Maybe you've got, maybe somebody called you off Zillow. I'm sure that's down here in the alphabetical world in the Z's. Zillow offer, Zillow form, right? YouTube, maybe you've got a bunch of videos on YouTube, and so you've got it lead that came in on YouTube. So all different options here where you can select where this person came from. If they came from your sphere of influence or your circle of influence, that's going to be your SOI. Down here, SP, sphere of influence. So if they're just part of your regular database sphere of influence. And here you can select our lenders that are in our office if you want to attach one of those, if they're attached to Brick House Mortgage. And then you're going to put in whether they're a buyer lead, a seller lead, or both. Okay, any questions about inputting that lead into your system? Once you're done, you're going to hit add lead. It's going to save that lead to your database and it's going to open it up into this window. So this is what your lead window looks like. So here is where if you clicked on that lead from Lead Central, it's going to pull this up here. Where you can, over here, it's got phone numbers. It's got that they're new. It's got that they're a buyer. You could add tags to it. So if you wanted to add a tag, maybe they're looking for a second home. Maybe they are looking for country property. There's a whole bunch of tags already in here. Test lead. Oh, see if it was let me. No, I won't let me add that way. Okay, but that's how you add those tags. Oops. Okay. You can come over here. Here's the lead activity. So if you're using your BoomTown website, here's the cool thing. It'll tell you if they visited any properties, number of visits, number of properties, number of favorites, right? How many times have they been to your website? How many properties have they looked at? What have they favorited any properties? When were they registered? Their source, last time they logged on. Here's where you can send the app invite. Let's come in here. I think that's just gonna let me send them an email. Oh, they're not accepting messages. So because it's not a real email address. So now I just have to figure out, oh, here we come down here to edit profile. This is where it's going to allow us to edit. So let me update this email address. All right, save email, change it. You can add multiple emails in there in case they have multiple emails. Okay, so now when I go back to up here, I can hit send app invite. They're probably going to get that via, it's going to go to the text message. So here you can send them an invite directly to their text message. Right? So fun things there that you can do. You can assign to listing agent, assign to lender, RPA summary, edit address. Here you can add their birth date. If they closed on a property, you want to add that for their home anniversary. And you can add related accounts. So let's say this one is linked to another account. You just select it in here and hit relate account. So you put spouses in there separately and then you link them together. And if they have children, you can link those as well.
Hey, Amy,
Yes.
on the app invite, the app that you're sending them is a BoomTown app or the one app? What's just to clarify that?
This is the app that's going to take them to your BoomTown website.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. Okay. The other thing here, you've got to-dos. So if we wanted to add a follow-up custom call, so maybe we were going to call them once a quarter and we want to call them in the selected dates. Maybe we talk to them today. We got July, August, and September. So we're gonna go, hey, September 13th at 10 a.m. Regular regular follow up. Well, now if you wanted this to show up in your Google Calendar, you would click this little box here for sync to Google Calendar. It's going to add that phone call to your Google Calendar. Okay, and we would just hit save. Now it's going to save that in our to-do list. If we talk to them today, we could go into notes and you could go in, had a conversation with them about their recent camping trip, and how much fun they had fishing. And then you hit add notes. Now, when I go in here to call them in three, and then it automatically, so I put a note, it popped up the to-dos, but we're just gonna hit close. So now it's got that note saved. It's got the to-do saved. Choose how they like to contact, phone or email, right? Mobile, there we go. Okay, so that's how you would update it. Oh, here it's letting me update the address right here because I'm on edit profile. So down here in this little section here is the summary. Okay, so here is all the information that's happened so far with this client. So because all these boxes are checked, it's going to alert me. So here's a new note was added. Here we updated the profile, lead added via BoomTown. So it would tell you what phone calls you had or whatever you had going on. Lead has not yet received an invitation. Would you like to send the invitation, send invite? So here's where you might be like, welcome to my website. And then hit send right here to get started. Send that off to them. And then maybe we want to follow up tomorrow to make sure that they got our invite. Check in for website invite. And then hit save. Now that to-do is automatically been added to our to-do list for tomorrow. Okay. So that's your summary. Gives you your activity, your to-do list. Here it's got anything set to do coming up. Properties, if they had opened up that email and started perusing properties, this would show what properties they've looked at. And this visitor has not yet viewed properties. If they had any saved property searches, it would show up here. So you could set them up with a saved property search. Visitor saved searches, that would be if I logged in and saved one. Property valuation history, if they conducted a property valuation in visitor search history. And then that was that edit profile button, which allowed us to go in there and edit their information. Does everybody find this pretty easy to navigate so far? Thumbs up? Yes. Lonnie says yes. I got a thumbs up from Tracy. Fabulous. If you are working on a transaction for this person and the test human wants to buy a home, we could hit add new transaction. And here is, I'm representing them as a buyer. The status is it pre-contract, under contract, closed, or abandoned, right? So if we were under contract and then they decided not to buy the home, that would be abandoned. If we had them on pre-contract and then they decided now is not the time, we could also do abandoned. So let's go pre-contract. Here you could put address if you had it. Oh, it's going to make you have an address to put it in here. So we want to make sure that maybe they're writing an offer on a property. I have no idea where this property is. We're just going to select it. There we go. Guerneville. Right, listing date, expiration date. We can put that in there. And then we just hit, oh, look, I picked a good one, 1.75. We just hit save transaction. And now it's going to put that transaction down here. Then you can go in there, you can edit it. And this is where you could go up here and be like, oh, well, now we're under contract. Or now they didn't get their offer accepted. So now it's abandoned. Save transaction. Wah, wah, wah. Right? So we can update it and track that information in here. Super cool. So that's kind of, you can search for social profiles. This is a fake human, so they don't have any social profiles. But you can go in there and search for those. It's going to search probably by phone number and also by email address and pull up anything they find that matches as far as social profiles go. Okay. Go back to the lead central. Now you'll see my list of leads in there. So now we've got test human and myself in there. Their email got sent out because they got a invite sent to them. No text communication, no calls. If we wanted to send a text communication, we just click on text. Here you could say, here's it's going to their mobile number. Be like test email. Because I'm sending this to myself and hit send. Ta-da, now it shows up. Oh, it got flagged as spam. All right, we'll wait and see what pops up. So there you go. You can also email them from here, so you don't have to open them. You can just open up and create an email from there. You can also insert listings. So if there's a listing that popped up that you wanted to send them, this would be a good way to search that listing. You can put in the MLS numbers and it'll add those in there, or you can attach files. I'm stuck forever in composing an email. There we go. All right. If there was the next to do is going to be right here. So here across right, we've got their name, number, the category, whether they're buyer or seller. Here's where they're, this got tagged as a new lead, but here we could drop it down to qualified, hot, nurture, watch, pending, closed, archived, or trashed. So we can change their status. So maybe they got pre-qualified. We can move them to they're a qualified lead. Okay. Or maybe maybe they were an open house lead. They're not quite ready. We can move them to nurture. Here's their last communication, calls, emails, text messages, the last visit if they've visited the website. Here's your next to do for them, whatever you've put in there. If there's any e-alerts, and then what properties they've visited, what price range they're looking at. It's probably based on the properties they're visiting. When they registered, who the agent is, and if they're assigned to a lender. If we didn't like those columns, we could hit show hide columns. Maybe I don't need the agent and the lender information. So we can just take those off. Super simple. Just by hitting this show hide columns. Maybe I don't want the e-alert either. Or the price. Take some of the clutter off my homepage. Okay. Over here on the sidebar, there's a little arrow that pops out. If you click on that, here's today's to-dos for calls. So if I had anybody scheduled to call today, or I could search based on filters, it would pop them up here. So maybe I had a filter for March phone calls. I could pull that filter up here and it would pull up those leads. So it'd tell me who to call. Here's people who have high activity. So if you've got somebody that's logging into your email or logging into the website and looking at properties, needs e-alerts, people you need to call. These are probably going to be people that you have talking to prospect or valid phone number, has not been called by anyone, and last visit was in the last week. Those would show up as your need to call people. So it's got these little edits up here, or these little tags, and you can go in there and edit those as well. Verified leads. I don't know where those come from. New leads. Here would be those people that you plugged in. People who have not yet been contacted. These are, they either need to be marked as new, qualify, hot, nurture, watch, and have not been called, emailed, or texted, or emailed via smart drip by anyone. Okay, and again, we can edit that. So if we just hit the edit button, then we could take this off and say, hey, we just want somebody that's new, qualified. Let's see, and then we're going to say communication has not been called by anybody in the last 4 weeks. And phone status is, oh, we're just gonna leave that alone. Hit view results. Now it's gonna pull up any leads that haven't been called in the last 4 weeks. Do you see how easy that was to sort through that, to pull up those people? Everybody see that? So we can just come in here and hit edit. And then this is where we can, you know, if we don't want somebody that's in the trash or archive, and we don't want somebody that's currently in contract. So here's how we make sure we stay on top of our people. Maybe I want to call old buyers that haven't been contacted, or maybe I have a tag in here. So maybe I want like FISBOs or downsizing people, right? And you could exclude tags. So we want everyone except those that have an active listing. Communication has not been, right? So you can select any of those boxes. By just me in the last 4 weeks, at any time in the last day. Phone status, email, lead activity. So you can go, hey, I want people that have visited, anytime in the last 90 days. Right? Or people that have never visited the website. Maybe I'm going to call and re-invite them to the website. Maybe I'm not even going to call them. I'm just going to log in there and re-invite them to the website. Right? Show me ones that haven't been invited to the Home Search Now app so I can invite those people. It's a new touch, right? Lead sources. So you've got all these different things that you can sort people out by. Anything over here? Maybe you want like, okay, so maybe, watch this. Okay, we're going to clear this. And we're going to come down here to birthday. And we're going to say, hey, we want a birthday in the next 7 days. And then we're going to hit view results. It shouldn't pull up, but now we can come in here and save that. And we're going to save it birthdays this week. And hit save smart segment. So now when I come down here, see I've got birthdays in the next 7 days. Or birthdays this week is the one I just created. If I clicked on that at the beginning of the week, it would pull up all the people that have birthdays this week. Yolanda, are you on the Zillow team?
Not yet.
Oh, I don't know why you're seeing the learner view. I think mine took me through a tour the first time I logged in. So that could be why. It didn't make me go through any trainings, and I should have the same ability that you guys do. So I don't know why it's taking you through that. But if you were on the Zillow team, I would guess that that's why. But you can always ask Carly, but you may need to go through a couple of their trainings. I'm not sure. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. No, it's fine. Thank you.
All right. There we go. So, right. So we can set that up and then it saves it to your segment. So you can easily pull it up at the beginning of the week and call those people or send birthday cards out to those people that have birthdays this week or anniversaries. Anniversaries next 7 days. Okay. So that's over here on the side. Those are your call tags. Now, earlier, remember I was trying to add a tag. If we come in here to manage tags at the bottom of this little box, that's going to allow us to search tags or delete tags. It won't let me delete any of these. I think because I have a base account, I can't actually add anything to this. So sad. But there's your tags and it tells you how many people are tagged on that lead. Okay, manage tags. Any other questions on your lead central? To get out of that smart list, I just hit clear. It took me back to my basic lead page, which pulls up everybody. Okay. There are actions that you can do. If I clicked on this one, it gives me bulk actions where you could add a tag. If I clicked and had a dialer attached, that's how you would send people to the dialer, but you could also, sort them by using that little sort over here. Like if I had a dialer and I had today's to-dos call, then I could come in here and add all those people to the dialer and it would just start dialing through them for me until somebody answered. I don't recommend a dialer, just for the record, unless you're making hundreds of phone calls a day. It's just not necessary. Okay. So that is how to set up your account. That is also how to put your leads into your account. Okay. Basic things there. Oh, let's close that. All right. There are some other icons over here on the side where you might want to mess with. Property boost. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Well, that's all right. Property boost. I think this will set us up. So here is where you can link your Facebook page if you have a business page. So you can share your listings directly from here to your Facebook page, as well as you can boost those ads for your listings from here. So you just hit Facebook page boot or linking. This is what I was thinking of under social media, but it's in this property boosting. It's going to open up a new window for you. And if you click on Facebook pages, if you have no Facebook pages, here's where you can link a Facebook page. So you just hit continue. If you haven't linked your business page yet, it may ask you to prompt you to link that business or that your Facebook page first. And then it gives you access to all of your business pages that you have. And you can link those in here. So I can select that. Click the little green button at the bottom, and then it's also going to link that page over to my account for Property Booster. Let's see, click below, Facebook Terms of Service. Oh, I don't think I needed to do that. Click here. Maybe I did need to do that. Oh, here we go. I probably need to do this one. We're just accepting all of our terms of service. This was the one I was trying to link. All right, we're going to hit refresh. And now that account is linked. Ta-da. So now if I go back to Facebook pages, now it's got that account linked in here. So it shows me which accounts have been linked. And then over here, you can go into like my listings. You can go to Boost Now. And then this is how you boost your post, which we'll show you in the future. They've got different packages ranging from $45 to $150. These are lead generation packages to help you boost your listings and ultimately generate leads. I have not tested any of these, so I do not know how well they work. I have heard that BoomTown is pretty good with this, but like great for an open house, $45. You promote your open house, it runs for 3 days. Ad will be seen up to 1,000 times, and you're going to add 8 to 12 contacts to your database. So, right, so if we select that one, you put in your billing information there, and then it's gonna boost that ad for you. Default site. Here it's gonna send traffic to the amy.rogfox.com email address. This is kind of gonna be what it looks like. Okay. Super cool. They send smart auto targeting on your listing for you. Okay. If you had compliance text, you could add that in here. So maybe if you wanted to put, you know, like Amy Guitar, because it's sponsored, it says real estate for sale, but it doesn't have my DRE number on it. So you want DRE 017950110. You want to make sure your DRE number on there, and then maybe like Rog Fox, so that it identifies your brokerage. You may want to include that on there to stay in compliance. So it just added that right at the bottom. So super easy. You can run that package. It tells you kind of what you get. You can play around with those if you want to. Here, that was for like a sold property. Here's if I'm advertising it as a real estate for sale. Right now it's click to see all the pictures and more details. Here would be the open house one, right? Open house at, and then you would fill in the information. If you wanted the price, you'd plug that in there. Change listing. Here's where you would select the open house time. So let's say that it was going to be June 16th at 5:30. End time is 7:30, we're doing a twilight. You could add more than one. We hit submit. So now it says right here, open house, June 16th from 5:30 to 7:30. Okay. Any questions about that property boost selection? Just looking to see if there's anything else. Let's see, we got lead central, birthdays, transactions, related accounts. I covered that. Account setup, property boost. All right. That's kind
No
of all.
property boost on LinkedIn? No LinkedIn?
No, it's only going to share it to the Facebook business pages.
All right.
Sorry. Okay. Price reduced. All right. So any questions about the basics of BoomTown? How to input your people in there, how to kind of navigate through it, how to set up tasks or save notes in your clients. If you put your transactions in here, down here at the bottom where the little dollar sign is on the left-hand side of the page, it's a little circle with a dollar sign. Here's my deals. Here's where any of your opportunities would be. Here's buyer seller. I think these are going to be, these might be closed ones. Buyer seller. I thought maybe these are just closed ones. You can come in here and claim these. So like Heritage Lane, you can claim it. And then you can match it to leads in your database. So it's automatically pulling these from the MLS. We've got 83 unclaimed. It might take me a while to get through that. I'll have to make Abby do that for me. In the far future though, Abby, not this week. So anyways, so if you've got past sales, you can go in there and claim those. So that puts them in here. I thought it would show your potential transactions, but these just show up as your closed transactions. Hot sheet, seller leads, marketing central. So there's lots of other things. We've got a BoomTown 2.0 where we'll cover some more information in here as well. You can customize your website, generate the links, email templates, all sorts of fun things that you can do in here. And we'll cover those all next time. Any other questions before we wrap up for today? All right. Hopefully you all found this helpful. Please make sure you log your attendance. The link just got put into the chat box. And if you want to select any future trainings to have come on up, you can throw them in there. There's a suggested training box that you can add things in for. So feel free to put stuff in there. And most of our summer training series was off what people recommended that they wanted to see. And remember, there's no training tomorrow because it's the office huddle, which is taking place in the office. So make sure you attend that in person. And then on Thursday, we will be back here covering car forms. And I don't remember which car forms we're covering, although I feel like maybe it's the seller in possession and the RLAS, the residential lease after sale, is this week. So we'll see you Tuesday at 9 a.m. and everybody have fun at the office meeting tomorrow. Have a fabulous day.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.